Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal. We are in the blind tonight. Yeah, I've got about a week's vacation. Shot a pig this morning, and have been having a lot of axis deer come here. This is my first day out. We got a week off, so shot a good young pig, young boar this morning, and he's about 70 pounds. He'll make a good meal. I cut him up in big chunks so I can smoke him, have some pulled pork. It'll be good. Anyways, we're sitting here in the blind. It's about almost 4 o'clock, 3:45, something like that. I've got about 2 hours of shooting light, 2.5 maybe, and hoping that that will get us a big old buck coming in, but I don't think it'll happen. It's way too warm. Maybe an axis deer, but haven't been seeing any big bucks on the camera, except I did see one big buck. But he's only growing his horns up about like that. His body is huge. He's going to be a big buck in about a month or so. And when he's grown up, I hope he comes back around when I got my bow in hand. So let's sit back, relax, and enjoy the hunt. Because you never know what's going to come in. It's actually the rut, but it's so warm that it may kill the doe activity or the buck activity. So wishing for warmer days. Maybe in about 3 or 4 days it'll cool off quite a bit. Right now it's getting up to about 70, 75. Right now it's about probably 70, above 70. So way too warm. All right, let's sit back and relax and be quiet. Hopefully we'll get something down tonight.
Red is the color of the trail of success for the hunter who has put in the time and effort to make it happen. And red is the color of grace for the Savior who suffered and died in our place so we could be forgiven.
We're going to be in a tree stand. Just set up a tree stand here. I'm going to get a decoy put out here at about 30 yards, 35 yards, something like that. And I can shoot both directions, both to my right and to my left and straight out in front of me, because I got a big open field here. And I'm hoping to catch a cruising buck. I'm going to be doing some grunting and rattling, so stay tuned. Hopefully we'll get something down for you today. All right, we're ready to shoot us a big old buck. Got Mr. Decoy out there. We're gonna try to do some grunting and rattling tonight. It's way too hot. I don't expect anything tonight, but slowly cooling over the next several days. But hopefully it gets way down. Right now it's about 70 degrees probably with the sun, maybe 75, 80, sitting right here in the sun. We got us a nice little tree perch and a ladder stand set up, and I expect the deer either to come from back over this way or back this way. And of course they always can come from front too, because they come from that way a lot when they come to this feeder over there. But anyways, we're set right about in the middle of our property on the biggest area that has an open spot. There's probably 3 acres maybe here in the middle that's just open. It's got a few trees in the middle of it, but it's wide open. When I bought this place about 13 years ago, this was the only open spot. All the other stuff, I've cut the cedar out to get some spots in here. But anyways, we're gonna sit in the blind and put my face mask on, do a little grunting and rattling about every 15 minutes and see if we can pull a big old boy in today. So stay tuned. Good morning. We got us a beautiful, beautiful understand. It is just about shooting light right now. So we've got Mr. Decoy out there. And I'm going to do a little grunting and rattling again. Today the weather's calling for more of the same as yesterday. Hot weather. So there is just the afternoon and evening is just shut down completely. There's nothing coming. So I'm going to sit in the blind this morning till probably around 10 or 11 this morning. And then I've got some work to do around the ranch. So I've got to clean my cabin especially. So this coming January we got a youth hunt out here where we're going to let some of the youth in our church shoot some doe, because I've got to catch up on shooting some doe. So that ought to be a fun time. Look for that coming in January. I don't know how much video I'm going to be able to get of it, but I'll get a little bit. And then, but anyways, we got this morning to hunt. I got to be really quiet and watch out for the deer, because they may just show up anytime. So anyways, let's hope we get another big boy down this year. We'll see what happens to today.
So about 15 minutes into shooting light, had this doe come into the middle feeder. So I just sat back and watched her, and she was feeding. I had no interest in shooting a doe because I only had one buck tag left. So I saw this big boy out about 100 yards, and he had seen the decoy, so he was coming in, and man, my heart was pounding. I was ready for him to come all the way in and shoot him, as I could tell he was a good buck. But he noticed, I think, that doe at the feeder. So he turned 90 degrees and started heading right towards the middle feeder. And then my heart sank because I'm thinking, oh boy. So I tried a few grunts to try to get him to come back, but he just kept going towards the feeder. So watch this play out. I'm really sorry for this footage, but my tree is rocking and rolling from the wind, so it's hard to keep this camera steady. I was just about ready to give up, and my heart was just pounding inside thinking, darn, I should have been in that middle blind, and I could have shot him at 21, 22 yards right there. But watch what happens. I haven't given up yet. That second snort wheeze really got his attention. He's ready to come take care of business now. Wouldn't you know it, he comes right into the spot where it blocks the camera, but I'm not looking at the viewfinder, I'm just pointing the camera. I'm trying to focus on getting ready to shoot.
Wacko. Perfect.
I had judged him at about 30 yards, and so I used my 30-yard pin a little bit low, and he was actually only about 26, 27 yards, but that second arrow took care of the issue.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, that buck right there might even be bigger than the one I shot 3 weeks ago. We're tagged out. This is the best season I've ever had, man. Oh my goodness. 2 wall hangers this year. Oh my goodness. Man, am I excited. This is just incredible. This has definitely been the best season I've had ever, for sure. Let's see, just recap. Shot my biggest axis buck to date, which happened just before, it was like the first weekend of opening bow season. And then now, let's see, 3 doe, and now my second buck. Shot my biggest buck to date 3 weeks ago, and now I think this one's bigger. I said it had to be a big one, and this is definitely a big buck. He was cruising this morning. So we had a doe over here. It came in to this feeder over here, and then he came through and he saw the decoy. I'd grunted at him a couple of times. Came through, he saw the decoy, but he didn't come to it. He just went. He came. It looked like he was coming for sure, and then he came just a little ways, and then he turned and went to the feeder where the doe was. I don't think that doe was ready because he just kind of sat around and ate at the feeder over there. And I was thinking, man, I should have been in the feeder over there, or in the blind over at the middle feeder. But then I thought, you know what, I'm going to give him a snort wheeze and see what happens. And I snort wheeze. And man, he came and looked, and then he just kept coming and kept coming. Came through the trees and back around. And over here by this buck, man, he was ready to rock and roll. And I hit him high. I had to follow up with another arrow, but we got him. He's down right there, man. Oh, this has just been an incredible season. Let's go get him. All right, will you look at that? He's actually, he looked bigger than he was, But he's about a 4.5-year-old buck. But man, I tell you what, this guy couldn't have come in any better. I just set that tree stand up about actually just yesterday. I set it up yesterday afternoon, hunted it last night, hunted it this morning. Saw this guy cruising through these trees right back here, and you saw the rest on the video, man. And he came in, I hit him high, obviously spined him, and then I followed up with a shot to finish him off, but we gave him plenty of time there. But man, am I excited. This has been a 2-buck year, and man, I don't know that I've seen this buck before. He must have just been cruising this morning. But he's a 9-point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Looks like he was trying to grow a 10th there, but man, this other horn's curled up really big, really tight. But anyway, hope you enjoyed that hunt half as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you, because it was fun, man. Just to see that classic deer come in. This is actually the first time I've shot a deer on this property out of a stand, pulling him in with a actually I grunted it at him a couple of times, and he started coming in at first, but then he decided to go to the feeder. But boy, when I gave him that snort wheeze, he couldn't stand it, man. He just came and looked at this buck, this decoy out here. Man, you always dream of a hunt like that, and I finally got one. Looks like he's been rubbing. Anyway, thank you for watching Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal. Be sure and subscribe and give us a thumbs up, and we will get with you to give you any future videos that we have. I'm tagged out for whitetail this year, so it looks like it's exotics, axis deer, and maybe hogs, and maybe a chance of elk coming in. Kind of doubt that, but I've actually seen a good 6x6 on the camera this year, so who knows, maybe he'll come in. And then it'll be a season to never be repeated again, I'm sure, because this has been my best season so far. Anyways, thank you for watching Indian Creek Bowhunting Journal.